All right. Good evening, everybody. Wow. So we just got back from absolutely the most exciting convention and the 5 conventions that I have attended. Yes, I've attended 5 conventions. 5. The very first one I signed up for, I literally had only been in for a month and decided to sign up for it and go. And so 6 months later, I was on my way to New Orleans, and that was like the spark. That was it. So, Renee is going to share with you all the convention recap, and then I'm going to go over the leaders retreat and our book club at the end. So, Renee, it's all yours.
Oh boy, and I didn't prepare anything, so we're just going to wing it tonight because I figured I was at convention. I should be able to share everything that was most important to me. And let me tell you, this convention, like Lindsay said, rocked my socks off, and this was also my 5th convention. I attended the very first one in New Orleans with Lindsay, and that one rocked my socks off too. But every year it's gotten better and better and better. And this year, I have to tell you, we started off with a revival. I am telling you what, that very first session of convention, I cried all of my makeup off. I mean, I probably looked like, I don't know, a crazy person at the end of that session. Because, I mean, it was so emotional. But it was one of the most exciting parts of the very first session was we just went right into some action. Well, we started off with Don't Stop Believing, by Journey, and the whole crowd was on their feet, and we were singing along, and that just got the vibe, right? We were excited, and Victor Antonio did an amazing job emceeing. I love that song. But Cindy Latham came right on stage at the very beginning and shared with us what we were sitting on the edge of our seats waiting for, and that was information about a new product. And y'all probably have heard a little bit about Vital Biome and how exciting that is. Y'all, I'm not going to spend the time tonight telling you about it because it's all in the back office. Everything you need to know about it is there. But we were so pumped up and excited to learn a little bit about it. Now, we didn't learn a lot, but we learned enough to know that this was going to go hand in hand with our new Slim. And we were pumped up about that. And that it also was going to go hand in hand with our ProBio 5 and BioCleanse. And we were piecing together the puzzle of, well, what does this mean? And by the end of the night, after we talked to some scientists and things like that, we figured out that ProBio 5 and BioCleanse is the weeding that we need to do in our gut. The Slim is the feeding that we need to do in the gut. The Vital Biome is the seeding that we need to do in our gut. So I got that a little bit backwards. But then we knew that there was something to do with protecting our gut, but we didn't know what that was. So we were kind of like, what's going on? Is there going to be something new? And over the course of the week, obviously, we did have another new product, which was X Factor, the reformulation of X Factor Plus, which is super exciting. So y'all need to do a little bit of research on that in your back office and take a look at how exciting all that is. And we're obviously going to share a lot more information on the team page about it. But I'm going to be honest, I'm one of those people, I can't remember what happens from one session to the next. So it all just kind of floods in my mind. So I'm not going to be able to say this happened at session 1, this happened at session 2. So I'm going to pick out some of my favorite things. We had a Senior Ruby and Above meeting before convention started with Carrie Wilkerson, who also rocked my socks off. She gave us some tough love, which she is known for giving. And she just wanted to really tell us that pretty much this is the time to run with the business. Y'all need to quit making excuses because excuses are lies that you tell yourself that no one believes except you. So every time that you come up with an excuse, I want you to remind yourself of that this is just an excuse. And whenever I go and I tell Lindsay or Renee or whoever my upline is this excuse, they're not going to believe me because nobody believes it but me. And that's the truth. Excuses are just ways to keep you from reaching your dreams. It's your easy way out because usually when you're going to be trying to achieve your dreams, it's going to be tough. You're going to be stepping outside your comfort zone, and it's the easy way out to make an excuse. It's a little bit harder to stay the course and do what you got to do. And sometimes that means you have to do things you don't want to do, skip things you don't want to skip. I'm a mom of 4, y'all. I don't ever like missing a ball game. I don't even like missing ball practice. Lacey's probably going, yeah, that's me. Lacey and I both live in the same town. We both have 4 kids. We relate to each other a lot. Our kids are our lives. We don't want to miss those things. And Plexus is our reason why we're able to be involved in more of the things that they do, and we're able to support their sports and things like that, because it can get really expensive. But because of that, sometimes we have to say, I'm sorry, kids, today Mama's got to work. If you want Mama to earn this trip to go to Orlando, I'm going to have to work today, okay? So we learned a lot about that, and that it's okay to let the kids know that the world doesn't revolve around them all the time, and that we're teaching them a really good work ethic. So that was a really, really important and fun part. I'm going to try to skip on. We, of course, we had Les Brown as a speaker, which was over the top amazing.
He's my favorite.
He is, yes. Again, it was just like having church, y'all. He wanted to bless our leaders, and you all can see pictures of that on Facebook, where we all raised our hand. We gave them all a blessing and prayed that they would be able to lead our company in the right direction. They're going to be able to make smart choices, which they have been making for us. And we had a session for, and I'm not going to go into it a lot because of Lindsay, but we had a session of training, and some of y'all are going to be sharing tonight. We had a silver training, a gold training, senior gold, ruby, senior ruby, and emerald, and then sapphire and diamond trainings, where we had other diamonds in the company that trained us on building ourselves, building our brand. What was the last thing? Build our business. So there was 3 topics that we all learned about, and each diamond made their own training. So it was very specific toward the level of leadership that we're in, and that spoke volumes to us. And I know Lindsay's going to share a little bit about that. But what I wanted to just share with you guys that I took away from this convention more than anything was that our company is headed in the right direction. And we have come from maybe a few valleys. So we've had some struggles, right? And I'm not going to sit here and sweep any of those under the rug, because we have been working our hind ends off. And one of the stories that I've shared with a few people, to let you all know that I do know where you're coming from. If you've been working really, really hard and you feel like you've been going nowhere really fast. When I was a little girl, I had a bicycle on training wheels, and I learned how to ride a bike later than what most of my friends did. But I had a bicycle on training wheels, and on our front porch, we had concrete that came together in a seam. So there was a seam down the middle of the concrete. And where that seam came together, it was broken. So there was a dip. And what I learned is I could put my bicycle tire over that dip with the training wheels on each side, and my tire would just go, 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 go. So I could spin my wheels, and I could just really pedal really hard. And I would pedal, and I was having so much fun, and I wasn't going anywhere. And then eventually it wasn't fun anymore. And I was like, this isn't fun. I'm going nowhere really, really, really fast. And I think a lot of us kind of can relate to that, right? I think over the past few months, we have pedaled really, really, really fast, and we've been doing all the activity that our uplines and what we've read in books. And I said, you've got to go and you've got to build your business. You've got to share these products. You've got to add new people to your team. And sometimes we weren't seeing the results of that. We weren't seeing the fruit of it, because maybe the next month our points would maybe maintain, or maybe we would go backwards. And you'd say, but I'm doing the work. What's going on? And we were looking toward corporate and saying, what's going on? And we know that we were having hurdles to go through, right? We had a back office transition that kind of, what do we call it? Info sucks. Yeah. I'm telling you, corporate new guys, they did not hold up on their end of the bargain. So I don't want to talk bad about another company, but we know that was not what Plexus had in mind. And guess what? Because our company is financially secure, they knew that and was able to make decisions for our future without having to go down that road for years and years and years to come. When they saw that that company was not holding up on their end of the bargain, they were able to come out and say, you know what? We're going to build our own back office because what we need for our company isn't out there. They researched all these other companies such as Amazon and all these like major corporations as well as other network marketing companies, and they looked at their back offices and said, that's not going to work for us. It's not what we need. It doesn't fit what we need. The only way we're going to get what we need is to build it from the ground up. And they went out and hired the best of the best. And this summer, we are going to have the best back office in this world. Okay, you guys? That is going to catapult us forward. Not to mention amazing gut health products that I'm sure Carol Ulmer can say, hallelujah, I cannot wait to get this into people because she knows the importance of gut health, the issues that her husband has dealt with over the past couple of years. You guys, we are on the forefront. We are years ahead of our competition. We are years ahead of what anybody even knows about with the microbiomes in our gut and everything like that. This is so exciting. And one of the most exciting announcements that we had was on the last day of convention when we thought all the announcements were done and there was no way it could get any better. Guess what we found out about? Our new office assistant named Lexi, who has rocked my world today. Let me tell you, it's the first time that I've had an opportunity to play with Lexi. And I was able to plug 8 new ambassadors who joined my team either last month. I sponsored 7 or 8. I can't even remember how many I sponsored last month. And a couple others who had sponsored prior to that just really was needing some training. I was able to reach out to those people and say, hey, I'm really excited to get you trained. I've been waiting on convention because I knew that there was something that was going to come out. Can I get you plugged into this? Yes, I would love to be plugged into this. Great. Shoot me your email, shoot me your phone number, and I'm going to do that for you. I plugged that in, and they have been getting text messages and emails from me, and it's training that they want and that they need, and I'm going to be able to tell what they're completing and what they're not and whether they're on track, or maybe we need to slow down. Are you on the sprint, or do you need to run? Maybe we should change you over to run because you're not really sprinting right now, and that's okay if stuff's going on in your life. But anyway, so excited about that. So those were some of my most favorite announcements. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I forgot. But y'all, we are years ahead of our competition. And that was actually stated from the floor of convention, from the stage of convention. So you guys are in the right place at the right time, and we are getting ready to explode this business. We want you to be a part of it, though, because it won't happen. Plexus is going places. Do you want to be on the road with Plexus, or do you want to be sitting beside the road watching all your friends going to the top and you wishing that you did it with them? So now's the time that you've got to draw your line in the sand and run with us. So I know Lindsay and I and Lacey and, oh goodness, I could just start naming all sorts of people off who are excited and ready to run with this. And we want you to run with this because it's no fun to go alone, but we're going. We want you to. So I'm going to wrap it up now. Lindsay, it's back to you.
All right. So now I'm going to let Shalona share from the Ambassador Silver training. Let's see here. I'm going to unmute you. Okay. All right, Shalona. What were your favorite takeaways from that training?
Oh my goodness. A lot. So I've been sitting here. I don't have much prepared like Renee as well. I got chickens hatching.
That's okay. It doesn't have to be long. I've got the 3 Zoom meetings, so we only got 40 minutes, and we're 16 minutes in. So
okay.
We'll have to cover retreat and our book club thing. So
I can go quick. I talk a little fast. Don't you worry. And a lot. I'm very well known for that. So one of my favorite things was right at the beginning, and of course I didn't write down her name, who was our first speaker.
Is it Jennifer Lee?
She was our second speaker.
Okay.
I'm blonde. I know that's gonna help. She was blonde. I just named like half of our diamonds. So yeah. Anyways, she had us get a piece of paper and tear it in half. And then we wrote down our why. And then we wrote down on the other side, on the other paper, why we can't get to our why we're blocked from getting to our why. And then on the other side, she had us write an affirmation in order to counteract our bad stuff. Which kind of goes, I've got over here my negative thoughts with my Band-Aids with scriptures on them on my wall over here. So that just, affirmed that that's the right thing to do when our bad things are happening and we've got those bad thoughts. Find something positive, and whether you're religious or not, find a positive saying to go over that. If it's scripture, great. If it's just something positive, that works. So that just really sat with me because it's always something that I have been working on a lot lately. And then Jen Lee got on and just blew me away. Oh my gosh, did she just blow me away? I have like a lot of notes from her because I related with her. And it was all about branding. And I don't think I realized how important it was. And, we can all say, well, we know our brand. We're Plexus. Yes, that's what our company is. That is the product. But who are we individually? Who is Lindsay? Who is Renee? Who is, who are you?
Right.
Because your story, the way you're going to do things is different than the way I do things. And one of the biggest things that stuck out to me is to be authentic and be you. And I'm really good at the whole, I liked your post, copy, paste, have a good day. I am really good at that. But I don't want to be that person anymore. And I know you guys saw my post about big things to come tomorrow. I've really been working over the weekends and while I was sitting in airports for layovers on who I am and how I'm going to move forward from now on.
Awesome.
And she said there's 4 things that you need to do. You need to be authentic. You need to have a good attitude. You need to keep yourself in alignment. And you need to leave a good impression with everything you do. And those were the 4 big things. And because one of the last things she says is, we are who we believe we are. So if you believe you're a nobody and you're not worth coming, to do all of this, then that's who you are. That's what you believe.
I love that, Shalona. And I just want to thank you so much for sharing that. And because we are on a time frame, what I'm going to ask for you to do, if you don't mind, because I think you'd be really good at this, if you could maybe make a post in our team page and summarize everything else that you would like to share, because I know Jennifer Leaf is awesome. If you could summarize the rest of it and make a post, because we all want to know the rest of it, but we're going to have to move on if that's okay.
Yes, I absolutely.
Thank you so much.
All right. So, Sabrina, share with us your top 2. Well, just share your one top thing that you learned at the Gold meeting.
Well, that's definitely going to be hard to do because I had Sarah Marvel, Michelle, Michelle Thomas, and our lovely Helen McFadden as our speakers. They talked about the law of intentionality and making everything intentional, your belief scale. And if somebody gives you a hard time about Plexus, they don't like it, you say, well, thank you for your wrong opinion, and you move on.
Awesome.
It's all about your inner circle. Michelle Thomas talked about building your brand. Your brand is not a logo, it's about your influence, and that you have to have your life in alignment. You have to choose success. And then Helen, she kept saying this several times throughout her whole time. She says, if it's to be, it's up to me. And that hands down is the most true statement I've heard when it comes to Plexus. Mm-hmm. And then she just talked a little bit about building your foundation. You're your best player. And She says you've got to hold your business with an open mind and an open hand. And I could go on and on because these 3 ladies were amazing.
If
so
you want, you can do the same exact thing.
Sure.
Summarize it, make a post, share it, because that way it's out written and people can go back and reference it. And you might hashtag, like Shalona, when you do yours, hashtag silver convention training. Sabrina, when you do yours, hashtag gold convention training. And that way, when somebody searches gold or silver, that's going to pop up.
Awesome. Oh yeah, definitely going to do that.
Okay. So Lacey, I'm going to unmute you. Let you share from the Ruby Senior Ruby meeting.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, we could all talk all day, and it's just part of that because Sheila Medina was the first one. She said, I don't think she said one thing that I have not heard before, that I have not read before, that Helen and Sonia have not told us, you know. But when Sheila talks, you listen. and it's just like you're hearing the gospel for the first time. I mean, it's just like this amazing awe. And she built belief. You just come away so empowered and ready to go. And then I had Celeste, and oh my gosh, she's amazing too. She talked about building your brand. One of the 2 things she said real quick was your vibe attracts your tribe. That was huge. Your vibe attracts your tribe. And then she said, do it scared, y'all. Do it scared. And if we do it scared, then we ask ourselves, so did it kill us when we did it? And no, it never does. So she said, what do it scared. It's okay. Don't wait. And then Lindsay, can you pop that picture up real quick?
Yep.
She gave us an app, and it's called Hash Me, because she says we have to be more intentional about our hashtags. And so she's big on Instagram. And this Hash Me is an app. You download it, and then you put your picture that you're going to post on Instagram, and it will give you hashtags, like the trending hashtags that go with that topic. So the picture I put,
did that pop up?
Yes. Okay. So that at the top, the Hash Me is what the app looks like when you go to download it. And then, so I opened up the app and I typed in health, and it gave me 30 hashtags that go with health. So you can actually hashtag. So when people type in health, it's gonna bring up your post. And so this will help our business. Like, I can't even imagine how it's going to help our business. And so, and then the last thing was to Lynn Allen, who is actually on our team, and she was just so fun to listen to also. And she said to, if you're scared to talk to someone, then that person is considered your dream teamer, and to do it scared, like you have to do it. If you're scared to talk to somebody, make sure and write their name down and then go talk to them, because that's going to be your dream teamer. I mean, because if Jen Hawkins would have not talked to Celeste, oh my gosh, like, where would they be now? So
true. Thank you, Lacey.
You're welcome.
If you could do the same, make a summary and then hashtag Ruby/Senior Ruby convention training. That way, somebody searches it, it's going to pop up that too. That would be grand too. And just put it on the team page. Thank you. Okay.
Welcome.
So, of course, obviously, Renee and I went to the Emerald training. And there was a lot of great things that we learned. But the number one thing that I took away personally was that they said, you cannot say that you do not have anybody running on your team. You want to know why? Because you have you, and you are your own best runner. You are your own best runner. It doesn't matter if you have 3 people running or if you have 0. You always have you. So it's kind of like what Lacey said. You know, if it's got to be, or Sabrina said, if it's got to be, it's up to me. It's the same thing. You are your own best runner. So to lead with that, let's talk about Leaders Retreat. You're your own best runner for Leaders Retreat. So you know what? A lot of people have said, okay, so what's the breakdown? How many people do I need to sponsor? How many people does my team need to sponsor? I don't think that you need to look at it like that. I think that you need to look at it as, how many people can I help go silver? I'm going to go silver each month myself, and I'm going to also help X amount of people go silver. So if you help 7 people each month go silver, plus work towards 500 PV each month, you have got retreat in the bag. Okay? But you want to know what else happens if you help 7 people go silver on your team each month? 7 people is gold, guys. That's 21 team members. That is gold. So when somebody says, how do I go gold? Let's get 7 people on your team and help those people go silver. Okay? We'll start small. We'll work on getting you silver first. So it's just focusing on silver. Silver is the key. Let's step that up a little bit though. You want to earn that shopping spree? How about, I'm personally challenging myself to help 12 people go silver each month. 12 people. That's 36 new team members that I'm going to help bring in. Now, what if 2 people take me up on that challenge and they do the same thing with their team members? Guess what that is, guys? If 3 people are helping 12 people go silver each month, that's the shopping spree. That is your shopping spree. So you've just earned the shopping spree plus everything else leading up to. How many of you want to take your kids to Disney World? It's on my dream board, ironically enough. Renee and I were just talking about this earlier. It's been on my dream board for 1.5 years now for Disney World, to be able to take my kids to Disney World. And ironically, Plexus does this Leaders Retreat back at Disney. I will say, you cannot exclude anybody from earning this, because 3 years ago when it was at Disney World, we had 2 people earn it that were brand new to the business. They literally joined in June and earned retreat by the end of August. So as you're adding people, tell them, you want to go to Disney? Hey, let's work on earning this retreat. We can help you. And then focus on silver. So make silver your number 1 focus towards retreat. And I promise you, if you're focusing on silver yourself and you're focusing on helping those team members go silver, you're going to earn retreat. You're going to do it. It's a no-brainer. So that's retreat in a nutshell, because my thing says I have 5 minutes. So let's talk about this book club. So we want to make sure that even though we have this crazy momentum and great things going on in our business, we want to make sure that we still have personal development going on, because personal development is key. If you just ride the momentum and you're not developing yourself personally, then when a little hiccup comes along down the road, guess what happens? You get discouraged, you quit, you find the next best shiny thing that happens to run across in front of you. But if you make sure that you are still doing personal development as you go along, then you are setting yourself not only up for grand success with your business, but grand success up with yourself and your mindset. So one of the books that corporate is recommended over and over and over and over again is Brian Tracy, The Psychology of Selling. So we are going to do a book club. It's going to start the 15th of June. I know that's a Thursday night, but me personally, Thursday nights are what work for me, and I'm leading the thing. So guess what? That's what it's going to be. So I need some volunteers to lead each week, because while I love doing these things, life happens in this way. We make sure that we always have somebody who's going to be, okay, you're doing these chapters, and you've always got somebody that's going to be there and that's going to know that these are my chapters. This is what I have to know. So if you guys want to comment, this is being recorded. I'm going to post on the team page. So if you want to comment if you'd like to help with the book club, that would be grand, because by all means, we're building leaders, right? And if Renee and if we take charge and do everything ourselves, we're not building leaders. But if we allow you all to step up to the plate and lead things, then guess what? We're building leaders. And that's what this is all about. We want to build leaders, because by building leaders, we're ensuring that we're going to be here for the long haul. So get the Brian Tracy book ordered. You can order it on Amazon. You can download it on your Kindle. I don't care how you get it, as long as you have it to where you can read it. If it's Audible, if it's on your Kindle, if it's a book in your hand, however it works best for you to be able to read it. Personally, I like paper because I make notes. Nobody could ever get a book from me and try to read it because they would be squirrel everywhere. Like, where am I supposed to go? I mean, seriously. So whatever works best for you, get it. But just make sure that you have it in your hand by the 15th, because that's when we're going to start the book club. And then also with that, you can choose if you want to do new or used. But I think Tiffany had said earlier that it was cheaper just to go ahead and spend the $12 and buy it new than it was to buy it used, because by the time you got shipping charged to you, unless you have Prime. If you have Prime, then you just pay the used price. So that is it. I finished. And with a minute to spare. So I'm going to unmute everybody and let everybody say good night. This was fun. I'm telling you guys, if you did not make it to convention this year, make sure you're at Leaders Retreat, because I hate to see how y'all's faces looked while y'all were having that FOMO watching us at convention. So make sure you're at retreat, so that you're not having that fear of missing out. You're enjoying. And you're doing that traction marketing. That's something that they talked about a lot. If you make these events, you're attracting people to you. So make it a priority to make it every single event.
First gut reaction seeing the kitchen was not so much. It's a really simple, it's very basic. I can certainly see some renovation needed to bring it up to date.
There's a lot you can do.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you, guys. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.